So to refresh your memory, or again, in case you're new to the show, I'm a certified health and life coach and a certified heroic coach. And I specialize in using my compassion and leadership skills to encourage and inspire men to be physically, mentally, and spiritually healthy. I coach men who are striving to have the life they always wanted, but they felt they didn't deserve. And that's why I resonate on many levels with Nicole, because she also works with men to heal past traumas. And we know that we make a great team, or we will make a great team to help you in many ways. My motivation for men's work, simple. First, obviously, I'm a man. But I've also taken on both big T and little t traumas. What do I mean by that? Little t traumas are things like, the boss was mad at me at work, or I yelled at my kids and felt bad, or in my case, I cut grandpa's lawn the wrong way and got educated on the things that I did wrong, right? Those are little t traumas. The big T's are the ones that leave scars, like being bullied in fifth and sixth grade, like I was. One time when my mom walked out the door and left me alone crying on the floor when I was 3 years old. Now I've forgiven all the people involved in these traumas. More importantly, I've forgiven myself for the meanings that I made of these events that made me believe that I was unlovable, unwanted, or didn't belong in this world. My other motivation is I've also known 4 men who have committed suicide. And while I don't know for sure, I can confidently assume that they struggled with some of these same types of traumas. The last of the 4 was just a couple weeks ago. And I pray that God has given rest to his soul. And I had been talking to him for a while as a friend, but I never got the feeling, I got the feeling that he never really opened up to what was really going on inside himself. I miss my friend, my brother from another mother, but we came from the same father. And in my case, as a spiritual person, that's my Father God. And I bring this up because I want you to know that I'm not taking this for granted anymore. That when I can see in a man's eyes that he's hurting, but he won't open up, I won't give up on any man that shows up consistently, asks for help. And as Nicole and I are going to reveal to you in this podcast, there's some crazy chemistry at work in our heads. And when I say our, I mean men's heads. And the meanings that we make of our experiences that we have, both big T and little t traumas, can jack us up pretty good. And I've worked on a lot of my struggles. And like I said, I want that for every person I meet. But for you, my brother, that's listening to this podcast or watching us on YouTube, you're at the top of my list today. So I want to help you in any way I can to break free from some of those things that are holding you back. So enough about me. Nicole, why don't you let the audience know more about you and what you do and why?
Thank you so much for that beautiful share, Bob, and so much gratitude, really so much gratitude for you and sharing this beautiful platform so we can both amplify our messages together. So yeah, my name is Nicole Harmony, and I'm a mind body trauma coach and healer. I really do work with the body and releasing those stuck emotions that we may have carried with us through generational trauma and also this lifetime. And they usually started around the childhood. So I do a lot of work with the inner child. Working with the men was my calling, or is my calling. When I first started coaching, I saw immediately the lack of resources that the men had as far as like for self-development was concerned. And the male coaches that were out there coaching the men, they weren't really coaching them through the hard stuff. They weren't coaching them through their inner child healing wounds and things like that, and their stuck emotions and their limiting beliefs. They were, oh, let's get fit, let's lose weight, let's eat healthy, let's get a better woman in our life, let's get a better career. And honestly, none of that is going to happen if you hold on to those limiting beliefs and you hold on to those emotions that are stuck within your body that create the illness, that create the disease, that create the inflammation that is the root cause of all chronic illness and disease, right? So after about a couple of years of coaching, I wanted to niche down, and I conducted this market research exercise that I did with a business coach. And so I threw it out there to my community, and I had 40 people respond, and 85% of those were men. And 85% or 85% of those men, they were all struggling with either stress, anxiety, depression, or a combination of both. And the other thing that happened was that they all came with these floods of emotions. And it was almost like they didn't have a place to lay down their pain that they felt that was safe. And so as soon as I got on the phone with them, and I have this knack for being able to hold this safe space for men to allow their emotions to flow. And I love that. I love that gift that was given to me. And then I just quickly realized how many men were struggling, and suffering in silence. And I started looking at the statistics, and the 77.9% of suicides are male out of 100. I mean, that's an incredible statistic right there to propel the mission that Bob and I and that we are gathering our supporters along the way forward. And so what I want to say is that at that time, nobody was seeing these men. Nobody was listening to them. Nobody cared. And, and then I answered the call, and I created this support container for the men. And I started surrendering to a higher power, and I reached out for support because after 8 months of being in that space, it wasn't moving the way that I wanted it to. I wanted to make this big impact, and it wasn't happening. And I knew that to make a big impact, I needed support. And so I reached out, and that's how I connected with Bob. And we both got on a call, like he said, and we both knew that there was a reason why we were connected. And it was just for a much bigger purpose and from a higher power that we were connected together and that we crossed each other's paths. And so he invited me to be on this amazing podcast. And I just look forward to helping men feel like they are seen. And that is the intention for this podcast. For me, that's my intention, is that I want to let men know that I do see them, that I do hear them, and that I am here to advocate for them. And also being with men for almost a year, I know what you're being faced with. I hear it all the time through my comments that I do on social media, the videos that I do on social media, and trust me, I get a lot of them. But I know that you are losing your children in divorce. And I know that you're being called misogynistic for holding the door open for a woman. And I know that you're being looked at as a paycheck and an ATM. But here's the thing. I want you to know that there are women out there that are still looking for the strong masculine man. I want you to continue to hold the doors open for women. I want you to continue to provide for your family. I want you to continue to pull out the chairs, because it is our job to elevate that male and female relationship. And if you know in your heart of hearts that you're not a misogynist, then this should not bother you. We need the allowance of the men to lead out of this space from respect and love. And again, I'm telling you as a woman, there are women out there that crave that traditional male-female dynamic than you even care to believe.
Well said. Well said. And I just want to add to that part of the reason I didn't go deeper with the men that I've worked with or haven't to this point is because I was afraid to go there with men. And even just in this few weeks, less than a month that I've known Nicole, her and I have actually had some conversations where I felt so comfortable with her that I've unlocked, in addition to the work I've been doing for the past several years, unlocked even more. And it's given me a strength and a confidence and even more courage than I had already had to be there for the other men in my life who we really, I know because I was there. I was that guy. And I use that guy, I use the term guy purposely. I was a guy. I was a man child a few years ago. And until I started doing this work and getting in touch with some of these things that Nicole's bringing to the table, that for men will seem a little woo-woo, they work. They honestly work. Um, and she's going to talk about inner child. Um, I've experienced personally with one of our coaches that I had through HCI that I worked with when I was going through my certification. And I met my inner child probably for the first time, and I was 40 something years old, 49 years old.
Mm.
And getting to know my inner child and understanding, where he's hurting has given me a whole new perspective on why things have gone the way they have in my life, whether it's good or bad, usually to the bad, things that happened for not good reasons. And the other part of this with Nicole is she's super easy to talk to. And if you ever get a chance to talk to her, you'll learn that and understand that. And I hope you'll hear that coming through this podcast as well, that she genuinely has our best interests in mind. And it's not about making you feel uncomfortable. It's helping you feel more comfortable and learn where these things are coming from. These reactions that we have, whether it's anger or shame or whatever, there's a root to those feelings in our body, in our soul, in our subconscious mind that all stem from things that happened to us back when we were kids. Like I said, I was bullied in fifth, sixth, seventh grade. A lot of the fears and feelings that I felt all from high school, college, my early career in business, all stem from those meanings that I made of myself when I was getting put through that situation of being bullied. And I know a handful of men who have the same story, that they were bullied in elementary school or junior high or whatever it was, and I see the same stuff in them that I saw in me just 10, 12 years ago before I started doing this work. So I challenge you and I encourage you to embrace what we're going to bring to you in this podcast, this rebooted season 7 of Men Becoming Better Men podcast. Open your mind to it. I mean, granted, you're probably sitting at home or in your car or whatever, and you're by yourself, you got your earbuds in, you're the only one listening to stuff. Nobody's going to judge you. And that's for me, that was the big hump I had to get over, right? Is who's gonna look at me and what I'm doing and getting into this inner child, getting to know my inner child stuff and think that I'm a wacko. And that's not, it is absolutely, this is a judgment-free zone. That's what I tell my men in my in-person Men Becoming Better Men group that we run here. Judgment-free zone. We are Nicole and I are just here to help you unlock some of these wounds that you have, that you've been dealing with and struggling with, whether you even realize it or not, for your entire life, probably. So long response to your comments there, Nicole, but that's where I'm at, and I'm feeling really excited about all this. So
Yeah.
let's dive into the emotional wound stuff and go from there.
Actually, I want to go back to the bullying because we've all been bullied, right? All of us, men and women, because if you look at how bullies are born, they've been bullied. Hurt people hurt people. So they were bullied by somebody, and then the bully bullies that other person. So in a sense, we have all been bullied at some point in time of our lives. And that right there will leave an imprint and a belief on our soul saying that we're not safe and that we fear, something, or because we're not safe, then we have to take up for ourselves, and then that's when the bully is born, right? So these emotional wounds that we carry, and that may not even be ours to carry. I was just sharing with Bob right before we got on here that I found another tool to release those stuck emotions that I'm so excited to share with my community. I just want to get a little bit more training under my belt, but it's these stuck emotions that we carry through generations. I mean, I cleared some over the weekend. I cleared a fear emotion that was from 41 generations ago. That is 1,000 years of fear that has been running through my lineage. And I was like, this isn't even mine. This is from the Viking days. And it's crazy how we don't even know what we're carrying with us. Our brains and our bodies are such incredible mechanisms, and they have these integral parts, and we have to start pulling back the layers. And that's one thing that I do with my clients, and that's one thing that I'm going to offer to at the end of every episode to the audience here. And you don't have to be present, and you don't have to be present as far as like in person live. You can be listening to this over and over again, and the value that you will receive is unmeasurable. And so let me just kind of go over a little bit of the brief overview of what unresolved emotion wounds are and how they may be showing up in your body. So first of all, unresolved wounds are just unpleasant events from your past, usually your childhood. And again, from your past, this could be other lifetimes. My Viking ancestors, who knows what happened to them to give them that fear imprint. Obviously, I'm not going to know from 1,000 years ago, but and then we just continue because it lives in our cells, it lives in our DNA. There was something called the issues are in your tissues, and I love that. So let me just give an example, and I'm going to use my own. And before I do share, my dad is still with us. He is an excellent and has always been an excellent provider, but he was emotionally unavailable to me. And so when I was about 3 years old, we were vacationing in Colorado, and back then we had those little video cameras that like super duper old fashioned with no sound, and I don't even think we had color at that point. And I'm waving to the camera, and my dad's behind me, and he's waving, and then he turns around and he just walks away, and I'm still sitting there waving. And I turn around and he's gone up the hill. And at that point, as that little 3-year-old, my belief that I imprinted on my soul was that all men leave and all men walk away. Mm-hmm. And for the next 40 years, I spent my life basically in and out of toxic relationships, and really just wanting the men to stick around for me and be there for me like my dad was not. And it took a lot of unraveling. I mean, I've been on my healing journey for 14 years now, and it took a lot of unraveling of limiting beliefs to truly come back to my true self and realize that that was something that 3-year-old, she's the one who decided that, not the adult Nicole. The adult Nicole has been able to release that limiting belief and has this secure attachment now with men. And I'm always going to be a work in progress. We always are. So it was this work that I'm going to do at every episode, at the end of every episode, that helped me move through these limiting beliefs. So that being said, I'm going to start leading the audience through a group energy clearing where we're going to highlight the behavior of the most common emotions attached to it. And so when I say highlight the behavior, whatever the topic is of that episode. So this one, I'm just going to do kind of a blanket clearing where we're going to clear I'm not enough, I'm not worthy, and I'm unlovable. And then we're going to clear the negative emotions and the blocking of the positive emotions around that. And again, once again, all you have to do is just sit there and listen and allow what is coming to you, be open to receiving the gift of the energy clearing, and just come with an open heart and an open mind. And so, Bob, do you want to respond to that before we get started? Or
Yeah. So like I mentioned, Nicole did this exercise with me a couple weeks ago. And like I said, I've done these exercises before, and it takes a little bit of time to open yourself up to it and kind of lean into it and find them valuable. But mostly for the reasons mentioned earlier that Nicole said about her hangups with men, I'm able to reflect back on the experiences that I've had and the things that have gone on in my life, and I see that the beliefs I had are shifting. And it's not a silver bullet approach. I think she said, and I wrote it down, 14 years she's been doing this work. So this is not, it's not like you're going to listen to this podcast and you're going to go through this energy clearing and you're all of a sudden going to be, I'm cured, I'm fixed, I have no problems, I have no issues. That's not how it works. 14 years, guys. 14 years of peeling back those layers of the onion, so to speak, to find that root issue and cure that root issue of where you got this from and why it's holding you back.
Limiting.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, limiting beliefs.
Yeah. So this most recent experience I had with Nicole has really given me, like I said earlier, more courage and more strength to fight for the things that bring up strong emotions for me, like my friend who committed suicide a few weeks ago. So my recommendation for you is give this a listen, give it a fair shot at making a difference for you, and really don't throw out the baby with the bathwater. I mean, if you think this is hokey or woo woo or whatever, trust it for a little while. Keep listening, give it a few episodes, and see what you start feeling, what you start experiencing, and just give it a fair chance. Don't give it not just a one shot chance. Give it a few and see what happens, because it does make a difference. It does make an impact.
Yeah. And I love how you said, it's going to take multiple times, and just because I've been on my journey for 14 years doesn't mean that I haven't started building the layers and the walls and the blocks since I was 3, or even probably before that. I mean, when we are babies, if we cry and our moms are not there right at that moment, we decide that mom isn't going to be there for us. And there's no way, shape, or form that a mom is going to be able to pick up her baby right then. So we all have these limiting beliefs inside of us. And it's just important to start bringing awareness to them, start unlocking those blocks, and start moving, shifting through, and filling ourselves up with that positive energy. And like Bob said, give it a few tries, because there's going to be different parts of you that don't feel like you're enough. And when I say parts, there's different ages that has splintered apart from your true self. And I just want to highlight, we're not broken. If anybody tells you that you're broken, don't even pay any attention to them. We're not broken. We have these little pieces that have broken away from us, that we have disassociated with. And those are our shadows. And I won't even go into that right now, but
that's a different episode.
That's another episode altogether. Exactly. But we're bringing these back into us. Just think about if you're a whole person, and each time there's some sort of little T or big T trauma, and a little piece of you gets taken away from you, but it's still in your auric field. It's still, and that's a little bit woo woo, I get that. But it's just a part of you that is not a part of your true self. And we really are wanting the men to come back to their true selves as much as possible, as much as those sovereign beings that they were when they were born. And going back into doing this over and over again, there's a lot of parts of you, again, those ages of you that feel like you're not enough, that feel like you weren't worthy, that feel like you are unlovable. And so I'm going to encourage you and invite you to download the episode and do it as your daily practice. If you do meditation, which I highly recommend, that's another episode altogether too. But if you do meditation, journaling, if you're reading scripture, I'll invite you to just do this 3-minute exercise with Bob and I and just see how it shifts your life. And if it does, please reach out to us and let us know, because we love to hear the positive reactions for things. We love watching men grow and come back to their true selves.
Absolutely.
All right. Okay.
I can't add to that anyway. I can't add any more to that.
All right. So let's just go ahead and start going into the exercise. And what I'm going to have you guys do is I'm going to have you start to focus on your breath and just allow your breath to come into a natural flow, almost like you're hearing the waves crashing up and down on the shore. And go ahead and close your eyes if you feel comfortable doing that. If you want to place your palms on top of your thighs so you're open and ready to receive. And what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you take a deep breath in and hold it. I'm going to give you a phrase to repeat silently in your head, and then you're going to exhale it out loud and deep. And here we go. Take a deep breath in and hold it. I release I'm not enough with fear. Good. Take a deep breath in and hold it. I release fear with I'm not enough. Good. Take a deep breath in and hold it. I release shame with I'm not enough. Good. Take a deep breath in and hold it. I release all judgment with I'm not enough. Good. Take a deep breath in and hold it. I release all anger with I'm not enough. Good. Take a deep breath in and hold it. I release all stress with I'm not enough. Good. Take a deep breath in and hold it. I release all fear with I'm not worthy. Good. Take a deep breath in and hold it. I release all shame with I'm not worthy. Good. Take a deep breath in and hold it. I release all judgment with I'm not worthy. Good. Take a deep breath in and hold it. I release all anger with I'm not worthy. Good. Take a deep breath in and hold it. I release all stress with I'm not worthy. Good. Take a deep breath in and hold it. I release all fear with I'm unlovable. Good. Take a deep breath in and hold it. I release all shame with I'm unlovable. Good. Take a deep breath in and hold it. I release all judgment with I'm unlovable. Good. Take a deep breath in and hold it. I release all anger with I'm unlovable. Good. Take a deep breath in and hold it. I release all stress with I'm unlovable. Good. Take a deep breath in and hold it. I release all blocks with belief with I'm not enough. Good. Take a deep breath in and hold it. I release all blocks with gratitude with I'm not enough. Good. Take a deep breath in and hold it. I release all blocks with hope with I'm not enough. Good. Take a deep breath in and hold it. I release all blocks with support with I'm not enough. Good. Take a deep breath in and hold it. I release all blocks with safe with I'm not enough. Good. Take a deep breath in and hold it. I release all blocks with gratitude with I'm not worthy. Good. Take a deep breath in and hold it. I release all blocks with belief with I'm not worthy. Good. Take a deep breath in and hold it. I release all blocks with hope with I'm not worthy. Good. Take a deep breath in and hold it. I release all blocks with support with I'm not worthy. Good. Take a deep breath in and hold it. I release all blocks with safe with I'm not worthy. Good. Take a deep breath in and hold it. I release all blocks with safe with I'm not worthy. Good. Take a deep breath in and hold it. I release all blocks with belief with I'm unlovable. Good. Take a deep breath in and hold it. I release all blocks with gratitude with I'm unlovable. Good. Take a deep breath in and hold it. I release all blocks with hope with I'm unlovable. Good. Take a deep breath in and hold it. I release all blocks with support with I'm unlovable. Good. Take a deep breath in and hold it. I release all blocks with safe with I'm unlovable. Good. Take a deep breath in and hold it. I am so happy and grateful that I am enough. Good. Take a deep breath in and hold it. I am so happy and grateful that I am worthy. Good. Take a deep breath in and hold it. I am so happy and grateful that I am lovable. Good. Take a deep breath in and hold it. I am so happy and grateful that I am open to receiving better than I can imagine in all areas of my life. Good. Take a couple of deep cleansing breaths. Come back to your body. Start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes.
I broke a little sweat there.
Moving the energy.
Whew.
How did that feel for you?
Arms are still tingling.
Yeah. And thank you for raising your water bottle because men
Yeah,
drink plenty of water. Honor your body. If you feel like you need to rest, then take a little bit of a rest. You may feel a little bit lightheaded. You may feel lighter. These are all very common and welcomed because
Yeah.
you're releasing a bunch of emotions. Emotions carry weight on us, physical and mental weight.
And so this is the second time now that I've done this with Nicole, and it definitely there's a lighter feeling. And it's fine. Didn't come into this heavy, but I haven't told Nicole before we started recording. I was a little nervous because we're not only doing this on the podcast, which I'm comfortable with the audio part, but we're also going to drop these on YouTube. So we're doing full video on this, which is something Steve and I never did, something I haven't done. So I had some anxiety about that, and like right now, that's gone. Just from
I love that.
that clearing. And it's helped the conversation and what we're doing here, and the purpose behind it. All that is super motivating, but I again feel the lightness, and so like I said, the more times you do this, even though it's hard. I mean, that's not an easy exercise. First of all, I'm breathing at that pace and thinking and repeating her cues before you exhale, and trying to do it as she does it at a pretty quick pace. So it's challenging, but it's different. It's not probably something, you know, unless you're super into meditation and you have been for years like I have. it can be new and different and pretty challenging. So, there's no perfection to it. Just like meditation, you don't have to be perfect with it. Just do your best with it, and you'll get better at it. You'll get stronger with it, and you'll start feeling more and more lightness and openness and less burdened from all the other things that are going on in your head and your body as you do it more.
Yeah. Yeah. I love the fact that the anxiety has has disappeared because would you feel like the anxiety was stemming from not being lovable or not being enough or not worthy?
Judgment. Yeah. People
Yeah.
looking at me on video and going, "Oh man, he's got a hair out of place, or his glasses look funny, or
Yeah. Yeah.
he's got a goofy round face. I don't know, something, all those things that we feel like people are judging about us."
Yeah.
I did. Admittedly, I was trying to let go of that when we started, and now it's
Mhm.
like
Now it's gone.
whatever. So,
And it's important to mention, the intention of the exercise is to really silence the subconscious mind. Because the subconscious mind, that's why we call it the subconscious release technique, because the subconscious mind wants to sit there and sabotage. They're the ones. They're the little computer up in our head that's like, ooh, no, that's good. No, we don't want that. We want to stay in the perpetual circle of trauma. So in the perpetual circle of anxiety and stress and suffering. And so we're quieting the subconscious mind by doing the quick breath. That way it's sleep, it's
yeah.
gone.
And I did
And you're
notice
able to move that.
the first time we did it, I had a lot. I was able to. My subconscious was poking in there a lot more. But now that I knew what I was going through and I let go of that, it was even easier. And I still got a couple of thoughts in between when I was able to, but about a lot less than the first time. And I'm guessing as we continue to do this, that'll get less and less. And as one of my mentors has taught me, being able to silence those subconscious thoughts is really the key to like everything. The more we can silence those thoughts and those voices that are telling us you're not worthy or you're bad or you're whatever, the more we can silence those, the more powerful we become. And it's just, yeah, it's a little woo woo. I'll admit it, but it works, guys. It works. And if you want to take your personal development seriously, lean into this.
Yeah. And it's woo woo, but there's science behind it. I mean, we're creating new neural pathways. That's science. That's quantum physics right there. And the more and more you do it, the more and more those beliefs are going to stick with you. It's almost like, right now, if this is the first thing that you're doing as far as like self-development, then this is plowing the field, so to speak. And then, you go behind and you plant the seeds in order to grow and to flourish. So yeah, creating those new neural pathways. And this is just one technique that does that. So yeah.
All right. Well, there you have it. We're going to go ahead and close out episode 1 of the season 7 reboot of Men Becoming Better Men. Thank you for joining us.